Now, if you know what a starter pack is, you are definitely a 90s kid. All of us who grew up in that era will know that a starter pack referred to the legendary Toyota Tazz. Now, ever since the Tazz came about, there hasn't really been a car to fill that gap. Yes, we've had the Toyota Etios, but it just wasn't that cool. So, Toyota has now given us this, the new Toyota Agya, and that is supposedly the new Toyota Tazz. The question is, does it have what it takes? When it comes to young consumers and first-time buyers, Toyota fully understands that a stylish and edgy design is very important to set your car apart from the competition. And if I look at this Toyota Agya, I must say that they've done a good job. Funny enough, I pick up small elements of Toyota RAV4 in the front here, but it does really work for this shape of vehicle. It just looks like a shrunken version. What I also do like is these additions of this piano black accents here, as well as the chrome, and the overall front side of the vehicle looks quite aggressive on the road, even though it's a very small car. Moving on to the side of the vehicle, we've got lovely 14-inch alloy wheels, but as much as Toyota wants to run away from it, you can see that this vehicle looks like a budget car from the side. But at least the back of the vehicle also looks quite nice and striking. I like the use of clear tail lights, and I like the overall design of the vehicle because, again, it makes it stand out against the competition. So, first impressions with the new Toyota Agya. This car feels very much like a budget car. Now, for those of you who have driven cars in this segment, you'll know that cars like this tend to feel a little bit, dare I say it, flimsy. And not to say that a car like this is cheap, it does though feel like a vehicle that is a budget car. As we know, cars in this segment tend to have lots of plastic in their dashboard. And as I look, this car does have a lot of plastic. And at the same time, we can't be too critical because this is a vehicle that needs to be for first-time buyers, needs to be for budget-conscious consumers. So you can't expect it to have all the bells and whistles. But I must say that sitting inside here, you do notice quite a bit of plastics, more plastic than the competition actually. So from that perspective, I would say that I'm a little bit disappointed because I know that Toyota can do a little bit better than this. At the same time though, this car is built on the Daihatsu platform. So this is part of that badge sharing program that Toyota has with many manufacturers. And in this case, this car is shared with a Daihatsu. So from that perspective, you can perhaps see where the trimming quality comes from because we know that Daihatsus are not known as the most luxurious cars out there. But this is still Toyota. This has still got a very loyal fan base in South Africa. So I wonder if consumers of Toyota vehicles will be happy sitting inside this vehicle when they know that they can get better within the Toyota range. So in terms of engines, I have got a 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol engine. There are no turbos here, so it is a normally aspirated engine. And power-wise, I'm looking at 50 kilowatts and 89 newton meters, which literally seems like nothing in today's day and age with the kind of power figures that we see. But that power figure works for this car because this car weighs under a ton, so it doesn't really take much for it to get going. And even on the road here, it's not overly slow, but it's not fast at the same time. Nor do you want it to be fast because this is a car that's meant to be a budget city vehicle. One thing I do like is the fact that Toyota has made many features in this car electric. For instance, the side mirrors can be controlled via a button. At the same time, this car's got full electric windows, and even the air conditioning system has got many buttons as opposed to knobs. And I guess that makes the car seem that much more premium, and for this kind of segment, it actually works. Another big factor that's very important in this segment is safety. Toyota has ensured that this vehicle does meet those requirements. I've got ABS and I've got 2 airbags, which also gives me peace of mind that if anything happens, I should be safe in a vehicle such as this. Overall, I must say the Toyota Agya experience is one of a budget vehicle. You do feel that this car is not an expensive car on the road, but I think the fact that you've got Toyota as your saving grace, that brand power can put a lot of consumers at ease. So it seems like Toyota really knows its target audience quite well. As we know, this car is aimed at first-time buyers and a younger audience. So there are a few things that this car needs to do in order to please that market. First and foremost, the car needs to be affordable. Secondly, this vehicle needs to be practical. And then lastly, it needs to be cool. That is where things start to get subjective, because we all know that the Toyota Tazz was a car that was very cool. Young people wanted to own it. Now the competition is really tough in this segment. We've got Suzuki, we've got VW, but at the end of the day, this car also still has got a cool factor about it. So Toyota might need to work extra hard in order to claw that audience back. Nevertheless, we do wish this little car very well.